Hello there, fellow peasants. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about my spoiler review of Halloween Ends. So if you haven't seen the movie, go check out my other review. It doesn't have any spoilers in it. It won't ruin anything for you. Just go do that, and then watch the movie, and then come back to this video. Anyway, so this movie, broad overview, guy named Corey in 2019, babysitting a kid. Kid plays hide and seek with him. Corey accidentally kills him because the kid traps him in this closet or the attic or something, and Corey kicks the door open. The door hits the kid in the face. Kid falls over the banister upstairs and falls a couple floors down into the foyer and busts his head open and dies. And so then 3 years later, which is 4 years after the events of 2018, Haddonfield basically has marked this kid as a psychopath, a killer, and they don't think he did it on accident. So he's kind of an outcast in town. He gets picked on a lot by these high school kids, like these band camp kids. I think it would have been a little more believable if it was like a football team, like a varsity football team or something. It's kind of weird that band members were picking on him. Usually band members are the ones who are getting their ass beat and picked on in school. So he's working at a junkyard. He lives at home with his mom, and he's getting picked on. Lori runs into him while he's getting picked on, forms some sort of relationship with him. She kind of takes him under her wing, and that's how he kind of meets Allison. And Allison starts falling for him. He's kind of the bad boy, she's kind of into it. And one night, Corey's getting picked on. They throw him over the bridge. He crawls down into the sewer, and he meets Michael Myers down there. Michael Myers sees him. So Corey knows where Michael's been hanging out at. And eventually Corey gets so pissed at being an outcast, he takes Michael's mask, and he starts going on a killing spree himself. Lori sees the path Corey's going down, wants Allison to not have anything to do with him, and so therefore he wants to kill Lori at the end. But Lori kills him, and then Michael shows up because he wants his mask back, and Lori and Michael have their final fight, and then they throw Michael into some kind of grinder machine at the junkyard Corey works at. So that's a broad overview, a real simple broad overview of the film. So let's get into what I like, what I didn't like, what I think they could have done better, what I would have done. Once again, I really enjoyed this film as a film in general. As a Halloween film, it's going to have to grow on me a lot. I'm still probably giving this a 3 to 4 out of 10. As a Halloween film, as a film, just out of pure entertainment in watching it, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. The storyline of Corey was surprisingly really interesting and really good. I sympathized with the character. So what I did like was the cinematography. The best cinematography in the franchise. Not franchise. Jesus Christ. It's the best cinematography in this trilogy. This is the best dialogue in the trilogy. And this is the best acting in the trilogy. So what else did I like? I liked the town. I liked Haddonfield in this movie. I kind of want to live there. It seems quaint. You really get a feel for the town in this that you don't get, especially in 2018. 2018, for being considered the, reintroduction to the franchise and Lori and Haddonfield, and you don't see damn near anything of Haddonfield in 18. You really don't. I mean, you see You see the little restaurant they go to when they go out to eat. You see, I don't know. I mean, you see the high school. You see a couple shots of the streets at night, and then Laurie's house, and maybe the gas station that the journalists are at when Michael takes the mask back. But 2018, I mean, for the most part, doesn't have a whole lot of locations in it. You don't really get a feel for the town of Haddonfield in 2018. In Kills, you get a little bit more. You know, you get the playground, you get the hospital, you get the bar scene. So you get a little bit more of a feel of the town of Haddonfield in Halloween Kills, which makes sense based on the storyline, because the town kind of gets sick of his shit and wants to kill him. So that makes sense. But in Halloween Ends, you really get a sense of Haddonfield. There's more locations. You get just a better vibe of what's going on and what's happened to the town since 2018 in Kills. I liked the Corey storyline. Surprisingly, I thought when I first heard about it, I'm like, fuck this. I don't want anything to do with this. But it ended up being really interesting, really cool, and I don't have a problem with the Corey thing at all, really. What else did I like? I liked Allison in this. Allison was cool. She was hip. She was even more free-spirited, kind of edgy, not giving a fuck. I mean, she was always kind of like that because, you know, she kind of did whatever she wanted in 18. In Kills, she just went off and like got a gun out of Lonnie's car and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go kill Michael. And her mom didn't want her to leave the hospital. She's always kind of had this rebellious streak a little bit. So I liked Allison in this. Laurie, once again, this is the best Laurie in the entire trilogy, or the franchise, in my opinion, really. This is the best Laurie in the whole entire fucking franchise. I liked the editing. I liked the font at the beginning. I liked that they used the Halloween 3 font. I didn't have a problem with that. For some reason, a lot of people are having issues with the font at the beginning. Like, why did they fuck up the font? Why did they ruin the font? Well, Halloween 18 used the 78 font. Halloween Kills used Halloween 2 1981 font. And now they're using the font from Halloween 3. And it fits because this movie's kind of like a anthology, weird, inbred cousin of the franchise. It's a weird, it feels like it's its own thing, but it's tied to the story at the same time. So it makes sense, and it's cool. It's cool. I like that they did something different. The opening with the pumpkins rotating and constantly opening up like Russian dolls and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That was really cool. I like that. I like the way Michael died. A lot of people don't like that. They thought it was very disrespectful. Whatever the fuck that means. And he's a serial killer that's murdered how many people? I mean, I don't know how you could be disrespectful to him. Anyway, they throw him in this meat grinder thing at the junkyard after Laurie's already slit his throat at the house and slit his wrist, and he's bled out. They tie him to the top of a car, drive his ass to this junkyard that Corey works at, and they demolish him. They just rip him up, like in some meat grinder thing. So I like how he died, because they did it without the mask on. They knew it was him, and they ground his ass up. Now, I don't know how Malek Akkad feels about that, because supposedly there's a clause in the contract, like we know because of H2O, where you can't really kill him. So I don't know what they're going to do to bring him back or get out of that. I don't know. Anyway, I like the vibe of the film. It felt very 80s. Just the cinematography, the editing choices they made, like the transitions and things like that. The pacing was excellent. I really liked the pacing in this film. So let's get into what I didn't like about the film. or what I think could be done better. I don't like that Corey took Michael's mask, or at least the way he did it. I think like maybe he could have snuck in and took it when Michael didn't have it on, or maybe Michael's sleeping and he would take it off of him. I mean, if you're going to take the mask from Michael, if you're going to even do that, just have Michael passed out or something, like laying in the sewer, and just have him slowly take it off his head and sneak out. But he like manhandles Michael. He like does some WWE bullshit and throws Michael down. Says like, "You're an old man," and pulls his mask off. And I get it. Michael's like, you know, in this movie, Michael's like 64 years old. He's been shot, stabbed, ran over with cars. Probably not in the best of shape. But you're not supposed to really see Michael Myers be somebody's bitch. You know, I'm fine with how they killed him, because, you know, you want him to have a definitive death, you know, kind of, so you know it's done. But in terms of, like, someone manhandling his ass like that, it just shows, like, the character in, like, a weak-ass state. Like, it makes him look like a bitch. And so I'm not super cool with that. I don't like how they treated Hawkins in this film. It feels like they brought Hawkins back in Halloween Kills just so he could have this important connection to Michael, because he's the reason why Michael got away the night of 78. Well, didn't get away, but, you know, Loomis was going to blow his brains out, and Hawkins stopped him. Hawkins, you know, also... Michael also killed... Michael didn't kill his sidekick, but he was going to kill Hawkins' sidekick, and Hawkins accidentally shot his sidekick in the throat, trying to save him, and, you know. So I thought Hawkins would have more to do in this, and maybe have more of a role in Michael's death, but it didn't have anything. He didn't... I mean, they brought him back in Kills for nothing. I mean, really. The whole radio tower and the looking out the window in Judith's room. Because remember, guys, in Kills, Michael keeps going to the window. When Hawkins and his sidekick go into the Myers house, he's looking out the window before Michael, you know, tries to kill his ass, you know. And then Karen goes upstairs at the end of Kills, and she's looking out the window. And then they show that radio tower like 10 times in Kills. And so when we get to ends, there's no reference to the window, what Michael was looking at. That's never explained, what that was all about. And then the radio tower is just where this random DJ is at. And Corey gets mad at the DJ because he talks smack to him at one point, and Corey kills the DJ at the radio tower, bashes his face on the mixing board. And I'm like, you showed that radio tower all that time in Kills just for it to mean nothing in this film? I mean, that was pretty... I don't know. That was stupid. The fight scene in this is lame. Lame. If you were going to show the tower that much, what I would have done is I would have had a finals fight scene somewhere at the top of the tower, you know, up several flights of stairs, on some sort of like balcony thing out on the tower, wind's blowing, final showdown. Laurie's like, "Come and get me, motherfucker. It's nighttime. The lights are flashing on the tower." Her and Michael are fighting. They're stabbing the shit out of each other. Maybe she throws Michael off the freaking tower and he falls like 300 feet and dies. I think the tower would have been a really badass way, or a badass place to have the final fight. I don't know how you'd get them up there, but you could write that in. I don't know, but I think that would be epic as shit. Be some Scar and Simba Pride Rock shit, you know what I mean? Some fire, the tower's on fire, maybe lightning hits the tower, or Corey sets the tower on fire, Michael's up there, you got the lights flashing, the fire is burning. They got knives and guns, they're fighting, they're duking it out up on this, Anyway, that would have been far more fucking epic than this kitchen scene that we got that lasted like 3 to 4 minutes, where she just tacks him to the dinner table or the island and pushes the fridge over on his legs. So that was lame. But it could have been worse. What else? I do want to say this. This is kind of a side note. But I'm hearing a lot of people that are like, I'm a Halloween purist. I'm a huge Halloween fan. And fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. This isn't a Halloween movie. This barely had Laurie in it. This barely had Michael in it. Well, you know what else? You know what other movie you guys watch every year? And you probably went and paid $36 like I did for the 4K version? Is Halloween 3 that doesn't have Michael Myers or Laurie Strode or Officer Brackett or Allison or Annie, or you just name anything about the Halloween franchise in the first 2 Halloween movies. None of that's in Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is a completely separate universe where they went off and did a completely different thing. Completely different thing that has nothing to do with Michael. And you guys watch it every year. And you put it in your Halloween collection. So if you're someone who's a Halloween fan who doesn't like Halloween 3 and you don't put it in your Halloween collection, then yeah, that can be, you have a valid reason to not like this movie as a Halloween fan. But if you do watch Halloween 3 and it's in your Halloween collection right next to, squeezed in between Halloween 2 and Halloween 4, you can shut the fuck up about this movie not having any Michael or Laurie in it. Sorry. Doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Overall, guys, I think the movie was done very well. I really enjoyed it. Do I wish it had more trick-or-treating in it? Do I wish it had more Halloween atmosphere? Do I wish it had more Michael, more Laurie? Yeah, like I said, as a Halloween film, not very damn good. As a film that tells a really good story, that incorporates the town of Haddonfield and characters from the Halloween franchise, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, it's basically a movie that tells a different story. It's a story that could be probably told in a completely other fictional town, but the story is told in Haddonfield, and it involves Halloween franchise characters. Just thrown in there as little spices on the cake, you know what I mean? Just to, like, oh, well, this is a good story. And by the way, they're kind of using some of the characters I like. I get it. Like, not everybody wants that. They want full on, balls to the wall, Michael Myers going around slashing people up like he did the first 12 movies. Well, 11 movies in the franchise. I like they did something different. A lot of people don't. I like that they went out on a limb, tried some different shit. Is it a good Halloween movie? No. Is it a good movie that uses bits of the Halloween franchise to tell the story? Yes. So, it is a very mixed bag once you start rating it. It's just a mixed bag in general, guys. It's very hard. It's a very hard movie to break down because it doesn't follow the formula that a lot of people wanted it to. And so, yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have any more thoughts on this. I kind of went through a lot of the things that I liked, I didn't like. I did like the kills. The kills in this were gruesome. Um, a lot of blood in this movie, especially toward the end when she kills Michael and he's just pouring blood all over the kitchen floor. The kill scene that Corey did when Corey killed that doctor and he just kept stabbing him in the head with the plastic bag over his head. That was a good kill. Yeah, 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 and I also really liked, last thing, I really liked Lori acting like she was gonna kill herself, like she was gonna blow her brains out, and you hear, and then you realize, oh, she shot the pumpkin, and she goes, "Did you really think I'd kill myself?" Bam, 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 and then she shoots Corey like 2 or 3 times in the chest. That was a badass moment. The theater I was in was like, yeah. So that was really cool. Yeah, guys, that's it. That's my spoiler review. Yeah, I'm done bullshitting. Other than that, guys, have a good night. Go check out the movie if you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out my other review that doesn't have spoilers. And if you didn't like this movie, that's cool. If you did like the movie, that's cool. Don't go in the comments and be a fucking dickhead. Don't do it. Yeah. Peace out. Bye-bye.